Hello, welcome to Ian HRP on YouTube and welcome to today's video for the Olympus 40 to 150 f2.8 Pro lens.
Tell me how to be closer to ya. Tell me how and I'll do it, babe. Cause I just wanna make you feel the way I do about ya. So just tell me how and I'll do it, babe. I love it when you whisper in my ear, words only meant for me to hear. Promise that your secret's safe with me. You're the only reason, yes, you're the only reason. Baby, you're the answer to my prayers. Feeling like the world's in our hands. Now I know that this is meant to be. You're the only reason, yes, you're the only reason I am free.
So then, welcome along to today's video where we will be looking at this beautiful piece of Olympus glass. It is the Olympus MZeco Digital 140 to 150 2.8 for the Micro Four Thirds system, and this is one heck of a piece of glass. I have been using the Micro Four Thirds system after moving away from Canon for around the last 18 months or so, and when I brought my first Micro Four Thirds camera, which was the OMD EM10 Mark II, it came with a 40 to 150 kit lens, which I don't think I've used more than about 3 times. In fact, I know it didn't, went straight back in the box. Didn't particularly like that piece of glass at all. It was plasticky and it was slow and just not very practical at all. So for the last 18 months or so, I have been looking at this particular lens, wanting to get it. Yes, I had some lens envy for some people from the camera club who had this particular lens, and I've been waiting for the time that I could afford to buy this. And when I upgraded the camera to the EM1 Mark II, which I will be doing a video for as well, I decided to splash out slightly to get this. Now, this on retail with the 1.4 converter, which this came with, was, if you go on to somewhere like Amazon or so, you're probably going to pay about 1,500 quid. On eBay I managed to find a seller that was selling from the UK for under £1,000 for this and this, which is a lot of money but is a very good price for this. It's an absolutely beautiful lens. Right, let's have a closer look around the actual lens itself. So the lens has a 72mm thread at the top, so you can put your filters on there as well, and they're not overly expensive to get some UV filters. This hasn't got one on at the moment. One I did buy. I'm not particularly happy with the results, if I'm honest, so I'm going to be looking for another one, but it is a very nice piece of front element glass. And then we have this unique to this particular range, I believe, and I really like this. It's very, very useful. So this allows you to automatically change your lens from a manual focus when you pull down to a autofocus, and that saves you having to go through the menus because there is no switch on this to change this. So you can, if you're struggling for focus sometimes, which these do tend to hunt every so often, what I tend to do is I tend to just pull this down, focus, push up, then autofocus, and it will lock on as well. But it's a nice little feature that you can have. And then we have the zoom ring. The lens doesn't extend at all, so it's all in body zooming, and this is a very, very nice movement, nice and easy to do. When you've got it on the camera and in your hand, you can quickly move around the focus zoom and the focus ring. This button here is the lens function, which you can set up within the camera to do pretty much whatever you want. At the moment I've got it set up to do a crop, so it zooms the picture in, which means you lose quality. You get about an 8 megapixel on the EM1, but it just gives you that extra function that if you're shooting something far away, quickly press that, the in viewfinder zooms in on what you're actually looking at, and then you just press to come off. And then if you're shooting in RAW, you get the full image, and then the JPEG itself is the cropped image. And then the bottom mount is all metal. It is weather sealed as well. when it combined with the EM1, it's definitely weather sealed, so you can take it out in pretty much any weather, and it's a really nice build quality. You do have the tripod extender, the tripod mount as well, which you can remove, but to be honest, I don't remove it. I just leave it on there. I just find it's a nice grip as well when you've got it, when you're holding the camera. It's just something else to grip onto. Let me just put the lens cap on there before people shout at me. Also in the pack you have this detachable lens hood, which has a bit of a, it's an interesting way. So you screw the lens hood on and then it's connected, and then you just twist ever so slightly and pull up, and then if you want to take it down, you twist again and pull down, so the actual lens hood doesn't come off. Now, I have read reports that these are fairly fragile and have a tendency to pretty much disintegrate in people's hands. I'm not that keen on this, I will be perfectly honest. If my camera is in the camera bag and then I lift it out, that just tends to be loose, so I'm not a great fan of this design. It's okay, but I would have preferred a standard lens hood design if I'm completely honest. But it does, look at that. That's a beautiful bit of glass and a really nice design. It's all metal, and it just feels like a proper piece of glass. Really, really nice. Now the second part of the package that I brought is this. This is the 1.4 converter, teleconverter, which obviously increases your reach of the lens by 1.4, and then this literally just sits onto the end. So if I just remove the rear one, and then that just clicks in, and then that obviously clicks onto the camera, and you go from an f2.8 to an f4 when you've got this on, but it does give you an extended reach for the lens as well. And again, this is a very nice piece of kit as well. And if you were to buy this separately, it would cost you, I think it's about £300, £200 to £300 is the official price. But if you can buy it as a bundle with this lens, and I would highly recommend that you do that as well. If you are buying this lens, I would go for the option with this. It just gives you that extra bit of reach for the lens as well.
We're always on the edge. We fight and make love at the same time. Would you break up just because I told you what I did last night? I recall the times you said you're sorry. I'm still not sure if you told lies, but I don't care, it's all forgotten now. We're holy when we touch anyhow. Give me a chance to make it right. Just let me touch you like the first time. We don't need answers to survive. Just let us keep on with the black lights. With the black lights. Hanging up to see if you would call me. You more when you seem too far away.
So one of the advantages of the Micro Four Thirds system is the lowering of weight and size of cameras and lenses as well. Obviously, mirrorless now is a major thing. All of the main brands have released their mirrorless. You've got full frame from Canon and Nikon have just released theirs with the EOS R and the Nikon Z, or Z if you're saying it the proper way. And obviously Panasonic have recently at Photokina announced the full frame mirrorless camera that they're working on using the Leica mount lens. So where does that leave Micro Four Thirds? Do you know, I'm not sure, to be honest. A lot of people are saying that the system is now on its way out. But I don't know. Olympus have said that they will be continuing to support it, and Panasonic have said as well. So we'll see where this goes. It's going to be an interesting time. I'm fully invested in this, so I'm completely hoping that it's not going to go anywhere soon. But to be fair, I think the camera and kit that I've got now is something that's going to stay with me for a long time. I don't see myself upgrading camera or lenses for a very long time. The equivalent, so going back to the advantages of the Micro Four Thirds is that this lens is the equivalent, because of the crop factor, of an 80 to 300mm f2.8. Yes, we can go into all of the arguments regarding the crop factor of the f-stops, etc, etc. But let's not. Let's just say this is equivalent to a 80 to 300 2.8 lens. So the equivalent for the Canon, to get there, 70 to 300 f2.8 lens, which I've used once or twice on a friend's camera, and it's a beautiful bit of glass. But that one will cost you around about £1,700, and it will weigh 1.49 kilograms, so basically 1.5 kilo. This lens weighs 0.7 kilo. So yes, for Micro Four Thirds, it's a big bit of glass, but compared to the equivalent for a Canon and Nikon, it's a light piece of glass, and I would much rather be carrying this around compared to the Canon DSLR and lenses, which I used to have, which used to break my back. Right, let's mount this onto the actual camera itself, so we can have a look at it on there. So here we have the lens mounted onto the Olympus OMD EM1 Mark II, which is my new camera, which is an absolute gorgeous piece of glass. Gorgeous camera even, and I'll be doing a full review on that. But as you can see, that I can easily hold within one hand. I think it's about 1.2 kilo with the body of the lens as well. And as you can see, it makes a very nice and easy and portable camera and lens combination. I could easily walk around with this all day without any problems whatsoever. I don't feel like it's going to break my back and everything like that. It may break the bank balance, but it won't break the back. So my final thoughts on the Olympus 40 to 150 f2.8 Pro lens is that it's probably the best bit of glass I have ever owned for a camera. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so well built, very rugged, and is really quick on autofocus. It just snaps and grabs the focus. Yes, that's obviously helped by the camera, but the actual lens is so much better than the previous lenses that I've had. The 75 to 300 I'll just get. The 75 to 300 is this lens here. This is the 4.8 to 6.7 lens, which gives you an equivalent to 150 to 600mm for your focal length. And fully extended, it's actually larger than the lens. But this is a plastic lens. It's not a bad lens. I've used it. It's perfectly serviceable and works quite well. But when you compare it to the Pro lens, it's completely different. This is such a step up for a lens. It's so well built. It's a very nice looking lens as well, and I've got a feeling I'm going to get many very good photos. Well, depends on the photographer, doesn't it, really? But many good images out of this particular lens. And when you add this on here as well, it gives you an extra reach and is well worth buying. So if you're going to get this lens, I would highly recommend you get it with a bundle with this, just to give you that little extra reach. And this is very small and light, fits into a nice little pouch that they provide as well, that you can just chuck into your camera bag. If you need that extra reach, you can take it with you wherever you go and just put it onto the camera. Very good indeed. So thank you very much for watching. That's been the look at the Olympus 40 to 150 lens. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please subscribe down there, like, and all the other stuff that you do with YouTube videos. There'll be more videos coming up shortly on Ian HRP on YouTube. Bye for now.